Welcome back to Terror by the Bay. I'm David. All right, this is going to be a reading on reports from CNN that Vice President Vance met with top administration officials in the Trump administration to discuss whether they should publish audio and a transcript of Todd Blanche's meeting with Ms. Maxwell. First, a little housekeeping. On my posts page, I put up a link to a Facebook account that's Tarot by the Bay group. It's a chat group. This is also not my page. There were two pages that were put up, a Facebook page and a chat group page. Through our efforts, we were able to get the Facebook page down, but the chat group page is up. And just to let you know that this isn't some little innocent item, the person running the chat group copied the picture I put up on my... So as a result of this, I opened up a Facebook page. If you go to YouTube and you look up Tarot by the Bay, there will be a Facebook link. That will take you to the Tarot by the Bay Facebook page. Word of warning, I don't post a lot of stuff up on Facebook. I just don't. But apparently I have to camp the page out. I used to have a Facebook page. I canceled it roughly at the beginning of the year. And then sometime in June, this scammer came along and created a Facebook page to mimic my YouTube page, and then was offering readings and asking them people to contact them via WhatsApp to charge for readings. I do not do private readings. I will never ask you for money. We got the Facebook page down. There was this chat group that we've been trying to get down. The chat group has copied pictures from my Facebook page of my two cats, and even the post to say, to demonstrate this is me, here's a picture of my two cats. So they are actively trying to deceive folks on Facebook. So I put something up on the post section. There's a hyperlink that'll take you to the fake Facebook group page. There's a vertical triple ellipse. You can click on that and report it as fraudulent. And if we report it enough, Facebook hopefully will take them down. So thank you for everybody who's done that. Thank you for everybody who goes forward and does that. Again, I don't do personal readings. Sorry. I don't ask for money. And so if you ever see anything, if maybe we get Facebook locked down, but then they go to Instagram or TikTok or something like that, I will not be asking you guys for money. Ever, 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 ever. It's not my style. And I don't want anybody to lose any money being scammed. Speaking of scammers, let's go back to this. So when the press asked President Trump about this purported meeting that JD Vance hosted, Trump said, I don't know, I could ask you that question. He said, looking at JD Vance, who was standing next to him. I don't know of it, but I think here's the man right here. You know, Trump always punts. And then Vance said he saw the report. It's completely fake news. We're not meeting to talk about the Epstein situation. And I think the reporter who reported needs to get better sources. And then Trump, because he can't leave well enough alone, says, look, the whole thing, it's a hoax. It's put on by the Democrats. It's a way to try to divert tension from something that is total BS. Okay. First off, whenever the president calls something a hoax or a witch hunt, it usually means it's 100% true. And he just doesn't want to... he doesn't want to acknowledge or admit it. Second, I want you to think about this for a second, just logically. We know Trump's name is throughout the Epstein report. Trump and Epstein were friends during the time that Epstein was doing what he was doing, and that little release of the birthday card is just evidence that's being dangled out there to show that Trump and Epstein were close. So you got to know that, and even in the depositions we've seen from Epstein, he talks about his friendship with Trump. So you know Trump's name is in this document. And we know that the FBI was told to go through this document and flag all the pages with Trump's name on it. For him to then say that this document is a Democratic hoax Yeah, what's he gonna say next? That he never met Epstein, barely knew the guy. You know that Trump's name is on there, so it would be reckless and like a dereliction of duty if there wasn't a meeting to discuss how are you going to handle the public relations portion of this. And we know that Blanche met with Maxwell and her attorney for 2 days. It was reported. We know it was discussed, and we've been reading reports that they're weighing whether or not they're going to release a transcript of what was talked about. It would make perfect sense that his cabinet or important people in his administration would discuss the pros and cons of whether they should do it or not. That's just normal strategizing. But the fact that he's just denying that the meeting ever happened and that it's fake news and the reporter's lying, come on, let's be reasonable. Let's be reasonable here. And the fact, actually, in quote, CNN story is pure fiction. There was never a supposed meeting scheduled at the vice president's residence to discuss the Epstein strategy, according to William Martin, communications director. Maybe not that specific time, which maybe could be telling the truth, but let's be realistic here. You know, we all know you're talking about it. How can you not be talking about it? Trump can't stop talking about it. So let's take a look at this purported meeting at JD Vance's, or more to the point, let's go. What's the current energy around the Trump administration? Not just Trump, but the Trump administration with regards to the Epstein case, the scandal that won't go away, and the cover-ups that appear to be in place to try and mask the worst of it. Think of how bad it must be that you're covering up. This is beyond embarrassment. Trump isn't embarrassed by anything. He usually owns it like a badge of honor. Why would this be different? No, because it's more revolting than I guess is normal revolting behavior. Let's see what the cards have to say. What's the energy around the Trump administration with regards to the Epstein case? Foundation of the reading is the Ten of Coins. This is going to really tarnish Trump's legacy. There also probably is a bunch of wealth and money tied around all of this. Not only the money that he spent to cover the PR part of it, but hush money that's been paid and all the wealthy people that are implicated in this. What's the cross? So we're looking at, but I think it's mostly about legacy and controlling the information coming out. The cross is the fervor. How do you manage this fervor, which is rapidly out of control? And, you know, he wants, underneath it all, Trump wants this issue to die. He wants it to go away. So they have to meet, because his reputation's at stake. Plain and simple. And as Trump goes, his administration goes. In the past, you got the star card. This card comes up a lot in this case. The things that he did with women and his star, which is now falling. Current situation is justice. We know about Epstein. We know what Epstein was up to. We know the Justice Department's been investigating this. The Justice Department has said they had certain items, and now they claim they don't have those items, and they never had those items, and there's nothing to see here. And then Trump's out there saying not only there's no items there, but it's all been a hoax. If there were items, they're all a Democratic hoax anyways. Brought to you by Obama and the Clintons, because we know they're your boogeymen, so let's just go ahead and name them. Now they got the Justice Department involved in this. It just gets bigger and bigger. Overarching energy is the Fool card. A new start. This is something new. This is a scandal that Donald Trump can't just manifest away with like his magician card saying, look, don't look over here, look over there. Don't look at this thing that you're looking at, look at that thing over there. This is something new and something different, something he's never had to deal with before. Lesson to be learned. I'm going to come to Miss Maxwell with this one. You may have removed Jeffrey Epstein from the equation, but Ms. Maxwell is sitting here in the catbird seat, holding a lot of cards that you don't want her to have. So what do you do with a problem like Ms. Maxwell? You can go ahead and hum your favorite Sound of Music lyrics after that. The outcome is the Page of Cups. Ultimately, the thing that the chaos that you're managing is MAGA. And what kind of crazy story are you going to be able to concoct to make this case go away and stop the fervor? I don't think they've got an answer for it, to be honest with you. If they did, they would have come out with it already. And you look at all the things that Trump has been doing, from looking at Hillary's emails again to accusing Obama of treason and trying to get Tulsi Gabbard, the director of national intelligence, to corroborate that. Marjorie Taylor Greene trying to get George Santos released from prison. Just whatever distraction they can come up with, they've been coming up with. And nothing is causing the focus and the energy to deviate from this case. Even Trump with his tariffs and his reduction of drug prices by 1,500 million billion %, none of it matters. Nobody cares. It's just a distraction from the Epstein case. And they can't get around that. Nothing is working. All right, so let's talk about the energy around the JD Vance, the purported JD Vance meeting with his cabinet, or with senior members of the Trump administration. Allegedly, other people there would include Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, Susie Wiles, who's his chief of staff, and Todd Blanche. These would be all the people you would expect to be in a meeting to discuss what was said. So, what's the energy around that? Page of Cups. Remember that outcome? They have to come up with a story. They're trying to come up with a story. They're trying to come up with a believable story. What's the problem? The problem is nothing's believable. And it's kind of like if they don't come up with a believable story, they're all going to be out of work. I don't think there's a lot that they have to work with here. Underneath all is the Three of Cups. I had this card come up for the third week of August, I believe, in my Trump energy readings, which to me was giving Ms. Maxwell the pardon that she wanted. Now, Sterling saw it happening this week, and I record this on Wednesday. It is the day today. I have to look at the bottom of my computer. August 6th. Hasn't happened yet. Doesn't mean it's not going to happen. He might be off by a week or two. We'll see what happens. But I don't think they've got a satisfactory answer here as they try and come up with a winning plan. In the past, you got the Seven of Swords. They moved her, sneaking about, doing things in the background, sneakily, extrajudiciously, stealthily. Yeah, they're sneaking around. They're not being transparent. They've got information that they're working with, that they're trying to cobble a story together that's not transparent. Current situation is I think they're just trying to get their ducks in a row. How can we craft a story that is believable, follows a timeline, and can withstand a little bit of scrutiny? And I think that's where this Five of Coins is coming, is their challenge is they can't do it. There's too many things wrong. There's too much information out there. And it could be, with this Five of Coins, they don't control all the information. So you can have this house, it's like a house of cards. You can put this house of cards up, but we don't control all this information, which means that one stiff breeze can come by and blow this whole thing down. Overarching energy is the Queen of Wands. I think we're back to Ms. Maxwell here. Ms. Maxwell has given you an opportunity to control the narrative. This card sometimes is my Susie Wiles card, so she might very well be managing this whole situation. She might be making the final call as to where they're going with things. Lesson we learn is the Knight of Pentacles. Patience and an offer. This could be trying to go forward with the evidence, but I think it's an offer from Ms. Maxwell, to be honest. Out comes the Three of Swords. The heartbreak and betrayal from people closest to you. They can't come up with a story. And you know what? I don't think they trust Maxwell. They either don't trust Maxwell or Maxwell doesn't trust them. So maybe that's kind of the deal, is she might be playing a little bit of hardball. You've got to do things first. No, I'm not going to take a pardon a year from now type of offer from you, because I know you'll double cross me. I don't think they've got a good answer. These cards don't show me they have a good answer. It shows me they might go forward with an offer. But if they go forward, let's put it this way. If Miss Maxwell were to give them a hamburger today for the promise of payment on Tuesday, she will she won't be around on Tuesday to collect, or if she is around on Tuesday to collect, Wimpy isn't around to pay the bill. How are they trusting Ms. Maxwell at this point? Four-carder. What's their opinion, Ms. Maxwell? She's got them over a barrel. She has absolutely got them over a barrel. Nine of Wands. They don't know what to do. Do we do this? Do we do this? There's a tentativeness. They don't know what action to take. Ten of Cups. The High Priestess. And the King of Pentacles. And there's that Queen of Wands again. They don't know what to do. They don't know what action to take. She's controlling things. She has all the secrets. She could be a savior and bail them out on things and support the Republican talking points. It's going to come at quite a cost. And you've also got wealthy, politically connected men, mostly white, that she would be on about and just, destroying their happy life. So I think that's part of the problem, is if we do put her up there, how much information is she going to share? How do we balance between giving us the political win we want versus outing the people to make the story believable? They don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. Somebody's got to make a decision. Trump's already made his decision. He wants the problem to, quote, go away. But as is typical of Trump, he doesn't tell you how to do it or how he wants it done. He just tells you what he wants done and then expects you to, get it done. And, you have his gratitude for a split second. What does Ms. Maxwell think of Trump and his team in their negotiations? Let's look at it from the other direction. Three of Wands. She's waiting for their answer. I'm waiting. I told you what I'm willing to do. I'm waiting to see what you're going to do about it. Judgment. Five of Wands. Seven of Cups. And the Page of Swords. Okay, so Page of Swords are, this is the spy in the camp. This is somebody maybe who's not very good and doesn't know what they're doing. Or this is young women, girls. To me, she knows she's sitting on the names of, she knows who the victims are. And she's waiting because she knows she's got a powerful card here. Underneath it all is the Five of Wands. The longer the Trump administration takes to make their decision, the crazier things are going to get. So, in many ways, time is on her side, and the timing, more importantly, the timing is on her side. She might have to release another little bit of information to poke and prod them along. She's waiting to hear their answer, and they need to back up their promises. In some ways, I would say this could be like a card of naivety. It's not the Six of Cups. But to me, it's like there's a little bit of trust there, but it's only a little bit. She wants more. More, or, I could spill the beans or not spill the beans. And here's the thing, she really can't spill the beans too much right now because then she loses her leverage. So you've got to balance between how much information do you release and them honoring their commitments. I do not believe that she's going to give them much of a free pass. So that Page of Swords is probably giving them some information. Here's a taste of all the stuff I know. Swords are about intellect. She gave him a Page of Swords. She didn't give him the Queen or the King of Swords. She didn't tell him everything she knew. She gave them a series of appetizers. And if you want the full meal, well, you're going to pay the full price. And here's my price. Ultimately, the way the energy is working right now, what will Trump's team do? What will they recommend to Trump? 4-card on what they recommend to Trump. Six of Wands. This is the other card that came up in that reading. Victory. The Chariot. Setting something free. Six of Swords. Setting something free. Calming things down. Sending somebody packing. It's almost like, exiling them from the country. And Charity. They've moved her, and they're the King of Swords. I think they're going to come to an agreement with the Department of Justice or an investigator. They've already moved her from one prison to another, and I think they're going to continue the process of moving her as they're making more offers to her. Bigger move coming. And the King of Swords, to me, it's not only, this is my Jack Smith card, my special prosecutor card, but it's also kind of, big decision times here. I would not be surprised if that means that they give her something generous in order to secure a victory, secure her testimony. What will Trump do? That's their recommendation. I think their recommendation is that Six of Coins could be, just offer her immunity when she testifies type of thing. We'll offer her immunity. We've already moved her. Give her the promise. They may have to go further than that, though. I think underneath of that King of Swords, really, this was that. The Magician. Here comes the manifestation here. Trump. The Magician in this case, and there's the Ten of Cups. The Magician and the Ten of Cups, manifesting a happy result. There's only one way that everybody's going to be happy on this one, and that's Ms. Maxwell not being in prison from her point of view, and Trump getting not mentioned, his name not escaping her lips is his best outcome. What's Trump going to do? He'll do the most Trumpiest thing he can possibly do. The double card. Because of course he would. There's Ms. Maxwell. There's Justice. Okay. Ms. Bondi, do your duty. And the Lover's card. We're all happy friends here. Ace of Cups. He will do the judicial thing with her. Kind of like, the making up thing. So, the most corrupt thing that looks like the most generous, innocent thing. Passion related. I don't think he's going to commute. I think he's going to pardon. Now, it really does depend on... It does depend. He could do both, right? I've been a strong proponent that he would commute the sentence. And then, offer her immunity to testify. So there's no Fifth Amendment stuff. She's not going back to prison. Pardoning, she could plead the Fifth if she's not given immunity. So again, I think they need to decide that. But I don't see anything in here that seems to suggest anything other than she being released from prison. Again, whether that's a commutation or a pardon, I would leave it to the lawyers to sort of hash out the nuances of the two. Okay? I'll just leave it at that. Anything else with this one? Yeah, okay. I thought I was going to be done before 30 minutes, but how about just a 4-card of spares? Anything else we need to know about this purported meeting between JD Vance and Trump's staff? They met. They absolutely met. They're meeting in secret. They're looking at this case. They're trying to find some creative solution for this. And there's no scapegoat. There's nobody they can toss under the bus with this one. They don't like their options, or the options they come up with are being rejected. But they've got to figure out a way to calm things down. And again, in 5 of Cups underneath it, there's no good options for them. There are just no good options. Disappointment, dissatisfaction, keep working. They can't find a scapegoat. It's like they can't. There's no Obama to blame. There's no Hillary to blame on this. Trump's done this to himself. And they're being given the impossible task of trying to get him to land on his feet. And really, the only way they're going to do that is to set her free. And if they set her free, MAGA's going to be most unhappy. They've got a selection of bad choices and worse choices sitting in front of them. I guess you can always count on them to make the worst choice. But in this case, the worst choice is not the worst choice for us. It's going to be the worst choice for them. And we'll see. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. This reading is for entertainment purposes only, but I hope you found it insightful. And I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.